Hi Astro Amigos, welcome back. These next 5 years are going to be the absolute best and most beautiful years for my Gemini friends. You heard that right. You will have the full blessings of the two planets, Saturn and Rahu, in your favor. What else do you need? These two are the most malefic planets, and they also exert a lot of influence on the life of an individual because they transit and stay in a particular sign for long periods of time. Saturn stays in a sign for 2.5 to 3 years. It is the slowest moving planet. Rahu, the north node of the moon, stays in one sign for about 1.5 years. If we talk about the other planets like Sun, Moon, Mars, Mercury, Venus, they keep changing signs pretty fast. Moon changes house every 2.5 to 3 days. Mercury changes sign every 2 to 3 weeks. Sun changes a particular sign every month or so. So, as you can see, these planets, due to their fast movement, can't exert that much influence as what Saturn and Rahu can do. If we talk about Ketu, the south node of the moon, the other counterpart to Rahu, is also staying in a sign for 18 months. But Ketu is a planet of moksha, salvation and spirituality. It is the planet of the past. The planet of today and the future is Rahu. And Saturn is also of utmost importance due to being the slowest planet in the zodiac. If we talk about the final planet Jupiter, well, Devguru Brihaspati is the most auspicious planet there is. So anytime it transits, wherever it is placed, whatever constellation, whatever nakshatra, it will always try to give good results. It will always try to protect and save the situation to its best ability. So we are mainly concerned with the transit and placements of Saturn and Rahu because their inherent nature is malefic, cruel. So if these planets work in your favor for many years, then they can catapult you to amazing heights. They can give you tremendous success that you never imagined. So in this video, I'm going to exactly describe that, starting with the placement and transit of Saturn and then talking about Rahu. And the good time doesn't start from next year onwards. It has slowly started already. So starting with Saturn, it is your Bhagyesh. It is your destiny lord. And right now, it is transiting in your Bhagyastan itself in the 9th house, in its own Mool Trikon sign of Aquarius. It doesn't get better than that because Saturn is great friends with the ruler of your sign, Mercury. Aquarius is the Mool Trikon. Any planet placed in its Mool Trikon always tries to give good results. And 9th house is also a trine house. It is one of the most auspicious bhavas. So naturally, your destiny, your luck factor will start to shine. It will start to support you more and more as the days and months pass by. Because Saturn is known to improve the significations of the house it is placed in over a period of time. So as it increases in its degrees, it will keep getting better and better. It will keep giving you more and more beneficial results. So this is the time for you to properly plan out the roadmap for your future, for your long-term vision, so that you can achieve solid success in all walks of life in the long-term future. Because Saturn itself naturally represents long-term permanence and stability. It is not a planet of short-term gains like how Rahu is, which I will come to later. But focusing on Saturn, you need to really inculcate the values. You need to be disciplined. You need to be having high morals, ethics, a standard of behaviors, a good moral of conduct. not take any shortcuts. Always have a dharmic approach to life, be duty minded, be spiritual, be religious. All these things are highly appreciated by Saturn. Have a strong sense of justice. Help out the poor, help out the needy, help out the disabled. Help out with any charitable activities whenever you can. Participate in social service organization. Do dhyan, do meditation, do yoga, do pranayama. Do relaxing breathing exercises. Spend more time in nature. Participate in religious and spiritual activities. Doing this will enhance your Saturn 10 times more than what it is giving you, because in the 9th house it is the highest of the dharma trikona, right? So it is the bhagyastan. It is connected to your dharma, to your righteousness, to your way of life. So be a good human being, do good karmas, and then see how Saturn rewards you. Because when it eventually moves to your 10th house in March 2025 in the sign of Pisces, it will be a very strong and auspicious placement, because that is the Upchaya Bhava. It is a growth house. So Saturn's effects will keep improving as it moves forward. So it can give you tremendous success in your career, lot of stability. If you were feeling stagnant, if you were feeling stuck, if you were not getting the growth that you desired, things will start to change for the better. As soon as Saturn enters your 10th house, it being your Bhagyesh, it ruling your destiny house, it will try to give you that push. It will try to raise your luck factor in doing well in your daily job. And there are strong chances of people relocating to a foreign country in regards to their job and performing extremely well. And those people already in a foreign land working in an organization, they can slowly be elevated to a higher position, because Saturn represents authority, dominance, prestige, reputation, right? So when it is in its natural 10th house, because in the Kal Purush Kundali, Capricorn is the natural sign of the 10th house. So Saturn is very much comfortable in the 10th house. The dispositor Jupiter is also the most auspicious planet. So it will give Saturn the much needed strength to deliver excellent results for your professional life. So be patient, work with Saturnian energies, and you will be surprised as to what level Saturn can take you when it is transiting in your 10th house. Then we see that Saturn will transit to the 11th house in 2027 June in the sign of Aries. So yes, Aries is a debilitation sign for Saturn. It is a Neech Rasi. But guess what? It is the 11th house. Any planet placed in the 11th house always tries to give good results. It is the Labhasthan. Doesn't matter what sign it is. Look at the bhava, look at the house, look at the significations. So Saturn is going to deliver amazing results. It will help to improve your social network, your influence, your prestige, your fame, your name in society, at your workplace, in your family. Those who had dismissed you earlier, they will start to notice you and give you the respect, credit, recognition for your hard work, for your commitment, for your loyalty, right? You will build your social network, your influence, your friend circle will grow. You might meet some influential people, make some solid contacts, and your overall brand awareness, if you're a social media influencer, can also increase, especially when Saturn is in retrograde position in the sign of Aries in the 11th house. That can be a game changer for many people in a good way. But again, you have to do some good karmas as well here. You cannot be too much materialistically focused. You need to bring out that spiritual side of yours. You need to be connected with your inner self. You need to be slightly detached from too much materialistic desires, because they will automatically come to you. But you need to focus more on harnessing the spiritual power within you, right? So connect with the nature, spend more time in nature, spend time with the trees, with the birds, go hiking, improve your energy levels, improve your vibration, improve your frequency, to connect with the nature, to connect with oneself. Try to do some donations whenever you can. Even a small donation, it doesn't have to be a lot of money. Even 1 rupee or $1 can make all the difference. So it is not the amount, it is the act of giving that matters. It is the act of helping that matters. Actions always speak louder than words. And Saturn will appreciate you doing good karmas, being a good human being, treating people with kindness, helping out the needy, the poor, the disabled whenever you can, going out of your way to help people. And Saturn will give you immense rewards, more than you ever expected, when it is transiting in the 11th house. I believe it will eventually come back to the 10th when it goes retrograde in October 2027. Then it will again move back to the 11th. So these things will go on and off. But basically till end of 2029, Saturn is going to mostly impact your 10th and 11th houses. What else do you need? You have the recipe for success right here. I just told you the way to approach these energies. Now let's talk about Rahu. Rahu, the north node of the moon. Rahu absolutely adores your sign because it is ruled by its best friend Mercury, right? So Rahu is very, very good planet for Gemini. And again, that is a big blessing, because Rahu is the planet of Kali Yuga. It can make or break a person's life. So now when it is transiting currently in the 10th house, it is a beautiful placement, especially for those people in a foreign country who are working, can get some major growth, major success, major prosperity at their workplace. They could get elevated to the highest position in their organization. It can happen overnight, just out of the blue, because that is how Rahu delivers. Unlike Saturn, which is slow and methodical, which is of teaching you a lot of patience, Rahu gives the result like that, with a snap of a finger. But it can also take that away just like that. So you have to again act more like Saturn. Even if you get a lot of name, fame, prestige, reputation due to Rahu's beneficial transit, don't take it for granted, right? So be humble. Don't go overboard in your excitement. So be very cautious when it comes to changing jobs suddenly. Try not to get into unnecessary arguments, disputes with your co-workers, colleagues. Treat everyone with kindness and respect, and that will go a long way. Rahu in the 10 means you can even think of doing something different. If you are tired in your daily work routine job, you always had some hidden talents and skills that you wanted to portray, start something new like a business, then it could be a great time to portray and show the world your talents and skills. And doing something creative, something out of the box, can be life-changing here, because Rahu is not a traditional planet like Saturn. It is a very unconventional planet. It likes to do things differently, something out of the ordinary. So if you work with the Rahu energy, if you choose to work with that more, then it is giving you the much needed push to do something on your own, to be a self-entrepreneur, to be an employer and not an employee. So Rahu is giving you that opportunity. Now, of course, you need to assess and make sure these two important planets are very well placed in your natal chart. If you are running its Mahadasha, Antardasha, the constellations they are placed in, the nakshatras they are placed in, whether they are, activating good houses, bad houses, what are the benefic or malefic aspects on them, are they aspected by Jupiter, Mercury, Venus, are they under good influence, do they have high Shadbal, do they have good Ishtafal as compared to the Kashtafal, is their dispositor placed strongly? All these factors also need to be accounted for. But looking purely at these transits and placements, I am trying to give you a general idea, right? So then Rahu, you see, can give you immense name, fame, prestige, reputation, and lot of wealth when it is in the 10th house. It can be great for people in the field of politics as well, in the field of people dealing in the public arena space. It is good transit to make yourself known in the entertainment, arts, and beauty industry as well. So Rahu then will move backwards or in a retrograde manner, as it always does, to the sign of Aquarius, right? And that will happen on May 2025. This is a beautiful transit, right? Because Rahu is an air element planet. Aquarius is an air sign. Rahu is known to co-rule Aquarius along with Saturn. So its transit in your 9th house, in the Bhagyasthan, can be beautiful. It can bring about major life changes for you. Not in the most expected ways, but for the long run, it can turn out to be quite good. And for those people especially who are getting some changes concerning their job or their business, or to study abroad for higher education, it will be the most favorable time, because Rahu itself represents the west part of the world. So for people, let's say, living in India, in Asia, if they have a good chance of relocating to the west, to US, Canada, to Europe, then they should take such opportunities, whether it's for higher education, whether it is for a job, whether it is moving with your family, whether it is moving in relation to your business activities, whatever the scenario might be, it is going to be extremely supportive for the same. It will be a great time to engage yourself in spiritual and religious activities. If you wanted to visit a very holy place, whether it is a mosque, temple, mandir, masjid, gurudwara, church, whatever religion you follow, and if you always wanted to visit such a holy place, then I will say go for it during Rahu transiting in the 9th house. It is a great time for that. Start to read ancient scriptures, any esoteric things you're interested in, because Rahu will eventually move back a step more when it transits to the 8th house in the sign of Capricorn. I believe that will happen in December 2026. Again, a good transit, because Capricorn is a earth sign. Rahu is known to give good results in earth signs, and Capricorn is again a very friendly sign for Rahu. So try to develop your esoteric interest. If you have interest in occult like astrology, tarot reading, numerology, Vastu Shastra, palm reading, face reading, astronomy, anything mystical, anything psychic, if you're interested in these kind of subjects, divinity, any kind of subjects about magic, look more into it. You will become very happy, you will become very content, you will be very satisfied. Doing some deep research in these fields will be good for you. And especially those people in the field of investigation, very secret research, can uncover some really good discoveries during Rahu's transit in the 8th house. Just make sure to not ignore any chronic health issues if something was to bother you. But overall, Rahu's transit in the 8th can do fabulous. It can really help you to even gain some sudden unexpected wealth out of the blue. It could come through inheritance, through your insurance, through past investments, through any legacies, through your spouse, through your in-laws, through lottery, through speculations like the stock market. Not saying that you should invest in lottery or you should do betting or gambling, because it is very high risk and it all depends on your natal birth chart. But I'm generally saying that Rahu has the capacity, has the potential to give major wealth when it is in the 8th house, in its friendly sign of Capricorn. Because 8th house is the house of unearned wealth. It is the house of sudden, unexpected, major gains in life. That's something you never expected, out of the blue. You never planned for it. But it is also the house of sudden major losses. So you have to be careful with your financial investments, and in general avoid making too much risky investments during this time. Then finally Rahu will move back one more time and transit to Sagittarius sign in your 7th house in 2028 June. This will also be a fairly good position because 7th house is a Kama house. It is a Kama Trikona. It is a relationship house, right? And Sagittarius is the sign of Dharma. So especially if you are in any type of spiritual or religious field, if you are an influencer in those kind of fields, then there can be a massive following, a massive interest of people to listen to you more, to seek your advice, to seek your good counsel. So a lot of spiritual and religious leaders having this placement of Rahu in the 7th in the natal chart, and this moment in the sky matching that moment can bring out some great success, lot of fame, name, prestige and reputation. For some people, if Jupiter, the dispositor, is well placed in the chart, Rahu is in the 7th, then there can be major gains in business area as well, business activities. And if you're running your own business, you could see your profits rise like anything, your revenues increasing and expenses going down. But for that, again, the whole birth chart needs to be analyzed. This is, I'm speaking again generally. And then one more thing is that for marriage area as well, a lot of single people could possibly even get married during Rahu transiting in the 7th, and it can open up some doors of opportunity for those single people who have been hoping to get married for a long time. But it can be with a person from a different culture, race, religion, background, ethnicity, because Rahu represents that. And 9th sign, which is Sagittarius, is the sign of the 9th house, which is connected to faraway lands. So you could possibly connect with those people through social media, through the internet, who might be based in foreign countries, who will be based abroad, but will have a very different kind of background from you, right? So that is what Rahu represents. So as you can see, these upcoming transits, placements of both Rahu and Saturn is looking phenomenal for you in these coming years till at least 2029. You know, it is not that often that, you know, you can get such kind of several years of supportive periods, right? For you, it has already started and it's going to last till almost the end of this decade. So you have to make the best use of it. You won't keep getting times like these again and again. So be a good human being, keep doing good karma, help out people whenever you can, follow the right path, do not stray away from your morals, values and ethics, and you will be very much blessed by Saturn and Rahu to reach remarkable heights. All the very best.